Fairy Tail is back, and I'm going to do something that I don't normally do, which is talk about the cover page. Because you got to remember, Hiro Mashima isn't drawing this manga, it's someone else. And as we all know, Hiro Mashima has incredible talent as an artist. But I got to respect this guy who's been drawing the 100 Years Quest. First off, he's able to copy Hiro Mashima's art style quite well. But at the same time, to be able to draw at this perspective in a manner that looks legit and proper, like Natsu actually looks like he is standing above us looking through a glass window or something. Honestly, the guy should really show off more of his talent as an artist and draw more perspectives like this. Anyway, onto the chapter. And the beginning of it is very skippable because it's just a recap, most of it. The only part that I wouldn't say is skippable is the part where Lucy brings up the fact that she finally is reunited with Aquarius, but she still feels uneasy. I can't imagine she's going to have to break another key because she doesn't need the Celestial Spirit King to summon. She has the ability to summon, well, Morphomia, a dragon god, even if he is in a weakened state. That's still a lot of power to have. So I'm not entirely sure what this is hinting at, if it's hinting at anything at all. But anyway, the proper beginning of the chapter is on page 9 when they all reunite. Now that Fairy Tail's back together, they can finally work together again. An update is given explaining to Urza and Natsu that everyone's dragon gods have been defeated already. The only things left are Natsu's, which is Igna, which Gray actually gives Natsu some trouble over, and also Urza's, which is Alderaan, but she's been busy fighting Web. Speaking of Web, when everyone sees him, they all go, wait, it's Igna. But then Selene goes, no, that's actually his son, Wed. Natsu then says something incredibly stupid where he says, wait, does that make him my son? I don't even understand how he would come to that conclusion. He has to be explained that no, that would make him your nephew, you're his uncle. And it's pretty clear Natsu already knew that's how that works, because once that's pointed out to him, he then realizes, oh yeah, you're right. So I don't know why Natsu was an idiot at that moment if he actually knew what an uncle and a nephew were. It kind of felt like they were just trying to make Natsu unnecessarily stupid at that moment. Selene declares that she'll take care of Alderaan by herself, and she takes off. Natsu says that he should take care of Wed because he is his uncle, and therefore he should take responsibility. Obviously, Wed has no interest in that. He wants to continue his duel with Urza. And so he just calls for his reinforcements, which are the rest of Fire and Flame. You got Raj, Lekka, and the Sonario sisters. And what made me laugh when I saw this entire page was the fact that Raj is the only one that looks like a monster. They all went through dragonification and they all became cooler looking except for him, which doesn't surprise me. He was portrayed as kind of the joke of the guild from the very beginning. So the fact that he's still the clown makes perfect sense to me, especially when you see what happens at the end of the chapter. What happens at the end, I wasn't even predicting, but I was not surprised that it happened, just because Raj is clearly just the clown. I never seen one of them is super excited about being able to fight now. My guess is they haven't had a chance to use any of their dragonification powers yet. Lekka's the first one to make a move where he decides to use his fire make magic to create heat rain, which then attacks literally everyone. Gray blocks it all with his maker magic. So yeah, that was the obvious one of those two to be paired up to fight one another. Next up is Wed. He continues his duel with Urza because that's all he cares about. The Sonario sisters then attack both Wendy and Lucy. They don't use either of their magic though. They're still testing out their dragonification forms, so we actually have no idea what their magic is. We know it's some kind of fire base, but what they did before back during the Golden Owl arc, that was them using alchemy because they were brainwashed. So like I said, we have no idea what they can do. They're actually impressed by their strength and speed. Now, they've been dragonified, but once again, they didn't use any magic, so the attacks didn't do that much harm to Lucy and Wendy, and they were able to counterattack. I'm guessing the fight between those four is either going to be the first to finish, or it's going to be the last to finish, because the Sonario sisters, once again, are just slowly testing out their new forms. That seems to be what's more important to them than actually winning this fight, which I feel would be kind of a cheap way for them to lose the fight, because they should be on par with Gildarts and such. In fact, they should be above him, technically, because they're above God Serena. So if they lose because they're messing around with two people they see as weaker than themselves, then, well, that would kind of suck. And then we come to the end of the chapter that I do not like. Not the part about the fact that Natsu one-shots the clown. I'm perfectly okay with that. Like I said, he's the clown. He was meant to be a joke that they just knock out. No, my issue is that he then immediately goes after Wed and says that he should be the one to fight him because he's his uncle. I have an issue with that greatly because I want to see this fight between Wed and Urza. Period. End discussion. I do not care the fact that Natsu is technically his step-uncle. That means nothing to me. At all. Completely nothing. The only reason why this sword fight between Urza and Wed is going to be interrupted and Natsu is going to be able to fight him is because, for some reason, Urza is then going to fight the second strongest of the Fire and Flame Guild, that would be Bestia. Either that or she's going to fight Ferris. Either or, because one of them is going to win their fight and whoever comes out, Urza is going to be the one to fight. I'm kind of okay with that, but first I would like her to beat Webb. Just saying. That would be the baseline of something that I want to see happen first. Before she fights someone a tier above Webb, I want her to defeat Webb. Because this whole fight between Webb and Urza has been set up since the beginning of this arc, and if it's just going to be transferred to Natsu, that pisses me off. I don't care if she's going to fight someone stronger than Webb. That's irrelevant. Completely irrelevant. I want to see this fight. I really do hope Urza just tells Natsu to back off, but knowing how Urza's personality is, she's probably not. She's probably going to let Natsu do this fight, and then she's going to find her way to get to the alternate dimension with Bestia and Ferris. That's the only option I can think of that makes sense. But once again, I don't want that. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. So if you enjoyed this video, subscribe, give it a thumbs up so you enjoy more Fairy Tail and other my things. Thank you, and have a great day.